Well, you called them Klopp's kids. In extra time, it's been Klopp's kids against the blue billion-pound bottle jobs.
Evening, Tate.
Evening, Jack. You all right?
Yes, how are you?
Not too bad. Not too bad. Nice weekend?
Yeah, it was all good. Bit of work Saturday, nothing, didn't go out, kept it quiet. So, you went to Arsenal, didn't you?
Yeah, went to Arsenal on Saturday night. Very good. I love going to football. It's my favourite thing in the world to do, especially when you win like that. It's honestly,
yeah, you battered them, didn't you?
You have a nice few beers. Oh, it's brilliant.
You battled the trains or the lack of trains?
We got the buses, which wasn't actually too bad in the end. Took a long while. Like I'd say,
but that journey home was grim, wasn't it?
Journey home probably took 2.5 hours.
Oh,
from kickoff, from full time whistle. I think the full time whistle was like quarter to 10. We got home half midnight. Something like that.
Did you stay in town or you went straight?
No. We got a tinny and then went to Mrs. Cod. I got some chicken and some. Well, it was chicken and chips. So I said, "Can I change chips something?" They said, "Oh, you can have potatoes." Unbelievable.
Really?
The nicest potato thing I've ever had.
Nice. Perfect way to end the night.
Very, very good.
Nice.
As you can tell from the podcast title, thank you, Gary Neville, for that one.
Yeah.
We will run through the Liverpool-Chelsea Carabao Cup final, a little bit on Man United versus Fulham, maybe touch on the Saturday I went to Arsenal, and then our usual end with the Team of the Week prediction, winner and losers. But as always, start the teaser, Jack.
Mm-hmm.
And the Champions League round of 16 fixtures, first leg fixtures, were completed last week. But who is the youngest player ever to score a Champions League hat-trick?
Okay.
And I gave this to Griff on the bus on the way up there.
Did he get it?
He got it first time.
Oh.
Which I was like, what?
I've got no idea, so we'll find out later on.
Right. Let's start at Wembley. And both of us, obviously, a little bit nervous going into this one. We didn't want the mighty Chelsea picking up the first. They say the first major trophy of the season. I think people forget that Arsenal won the Charity Shield in August.
We won't count that either. But for me, it was no good result really in this final. But for me, it was definitely the best outcome possible. And
obviously, Virgil van Dijk's header deep into extra time gave an understrength for Liverpool the win in the final. It was actually a bit of a remarkable game, really. I think it was quite an interesting.
Yeah, I thought it was quite good
game for the neutral. Yeah,
we said before, and everyone sort of agrees that finals are generally pretty boring. And even though it was 0-0, it was actually quite a good game. When both teams there was loads of chances, and until extra time, no one was really sitting back, or there was no. Yeah, sort of playing it safe. It was all just going for it, and it was actually quite exciting 0-0. And yeah, it was when a teams got announced and you sent me the sides. I was like, just the depleted Liverpool side. No Salah, Nunes, Jota, Jones, Trent, Matip, Alisson, Szoboszlai. You just think, oh my god.
Which is quite interesting actually, because normally, when teams have a lot of these players out, they normally like patch them up and try and put them in. I think where it was just. I'm not taking away from anything from the competition, where it's just the Carabao Cup, they probably didn't risk him because they brought Salah back too quickly in the Premier League when Jota got injured, and that's why he didn't play today. So I think they've been rushing these players back, and they thought...
Yeah, it's true. And I mean, Tottenham done it with Kane. He probably was never nowhere near fit enough to play in the final. Obviously, it's a different competition. But yeah, like you said, maybe Klopp and Liverpool just thought, no,
there's bigger fish to fry this season.
Yeah, that sort of saying comes around, and they got the league and whatever else coming ahead. So... Yeah, and they really did. They sort of played the same way as well. They didn't just go like, right, we're going to fight at the back and we'll just defend, and they stuck to what they believe in. I don't really maybe I jumped the gun, but the argument of the money and all that, they've got £80 million centre back. They have got Luis Diaz that's still playing. They've still got expensive and experienced players on the pitch, but yeah, I mean that Liverpool side is nowhere near what they could have. The players I just said, but. Yeah, when that came out, and Chelsea would have been the same in the dressing room, they'd looked to the side and gone, we've got a real chance. It's probably the best day to play Liverpool.
Well, I think it was the 31st of January, Liverpool won 4-1 against Chelsea. But there were 6 changes to that team, the Liverpool team. Obviously, starting in goal. The biggest compliment I can give that Kelleher is that It didn't. We don't realise that Alisson wasn't playing.
That save he made from Palmer in the
was
first. Yeah,
outstanding.
Ridiculous save.
I mean, Chelsea had a few chances, and Sterling's obviously goal was ruled out offside. What annoyed me about that goal is the angle they kept showing. It looked like one of them silly ones where it's just so tight.
Yeah.
But when they actually zoomed out and they showed like the angle at half time, he's not miles off. But
No.
from the naked eye, you could tell he's offside. Why didn't they just show that and just get rid of all that the screenshots that go around Twitter and all that?
Like you said, when it happened, they kept showing the same angle, and it looked to me like onside.
You can't. There's no way.
It was so close.
Tell.
You'd be guessing. Then they draw the lines and stuff. I know you can't argue, but you can argue with what's happened this season. And then, like you said, the one from sort of high up, it was almost like the halfway line Wembley view. He looked offside there, but I know again it's down to the lines and stuff. But to me, it was almost it was so close. I almost can't believe it was offside.
I mean, after it was the great save from Palmer, Gakpo saw his header bounce off the post, and obviously then it was Raheem Sterling's close range goal that got denied for half time. Half time, I think both teams probably happy 0-0 so far. Obviously, they had the injury with Gravenberch. I don't know what to think about it. It's not a red card for me.
No,
it's a foul. Obviously, he's missed it, and there was. Can you go back and book him?
I don't think it should be. I mean, it wasn't, and I think that's correct. But again, it's like, well, if that's what's happening and what's been going on in the Premier League, talk about Maguire's tackle later on from the weekend. I don't know. It'd be very, very harsh to be a red card, but almost like, well, it probably could have been given. But yeah, another injury added to Liverpool for yesterday, really.
Yeah, Gravenberch came off. They brought on
Gomez,
put him to right back, I think, and they pushed Bradley onto right mid. So that was a makeshift.
Yeah,
that was even more of a makeshift team. And going into the second half, Liverpool started the game because Liverpool started well again, and Chelsea, for some reason, every restart they said that they just were off it.
Offered nothing, didn't they?
And Van Dijk got his goal. His first goal was ruled off for offside. Thoughts on that?
It's just a goal. It's never offside. It's not whatever they're trying to explain it. A technical offside. I've never heard of a technical offside before, but yeah, I've got it here. But yeah, Van Dijk's second half header ruled offside for an offside on Endo, who was offside and blocked Colwill, so he could not reach the ball. But Van Dijk, who headed it, was not offside, and Chilwell was marking him and pulling his shirt, but because of Endo, it's just a mess, a total mess. And it started from that Newcastle game recently when they were at home against I think Brentford or something, and they looked at a decision that was similar to this, but nothing came of it, and it wasn't a goal scored or cancelled out. And yeah, they for whatever reason looked at it yesterday and just ridiculous. Colwill was nowhere. If he was marking Van Dijk, he was scoring anyway because he's in an awful position. He's nowhere near the player, and he didn't challenge the decision or throw his hands up and call for anything. So yeah, and Chilwell was fouling Van Dijk anyway. So and Van Dijk was pulling something. It was just an awful decision for me. Or I don't know what you think.
Well, there was two ways to look at it, and I the more I look at it now, I mean, in the heat at the moment, I'm like, no, has to give a goal. And that's because my boss. I don't want Chelsea to win the game. I look back at it now and I think those decisions, rightly or wrongly, I personally don't think it should be, but I think it should be allowed to go ahead. But going back on, like you said, previous decisions and ones we've seen, even one at the weekend. Don't know if you've seen that Burnley goal that got disallowed at Palace.
I didn't really. I'd sort of.
I mean,
they've how much knows it, to be honest.
That's exactly why no one's even brought it up because Palace are down. Palace are 3-0 up at home in like the 82nd minute. Burnley down to 10 men, and they get a goal which is not offside, offside because he's standing next to the goalkeeper, not in his line of sight. And they give it as offside. And those sort of ones this season have just been consistently given. I mean, I disagree. It should have been a goal because Colwill gives up. He runs into Endo.
He's not interested at all. Yeah,
he's lost him now. He's like, he knows he's lost him. Chilwell was pulling his shirt for Kingdom Comes, trying to get it off his back, and Van Dijk's just too big, too strong, heads it in. And the key is, not one Chelsea player.
No, even didn't
even put their arm up, looked to the ref, was blocked. Nothing. They just thought, oh shit, we've mucked up here.
And Chilwell was fouling him, but it was a good tussle, as in Van Dijk, like you said, is so strong and such a good header of the ball that Chilwell was doing at his utmost, and Van Dijk just clearly overpowered him. If Van Dijk would have fallen and messed up the header, he probably may have got a penalty. Who knows? But yeah, I think the refs are just looking at something they should never be even.
And initially, what I got with that is that goal's been scored 1,000 times.
Yeah.
Why is that now a foul? And especially the one thing this tournament, I'd always give it credit for. It's different and it's fun. It's quick. So from round 1 to the semi-final, it is basically 90 minutes and then it's straight shootout. Yeah. It's different. It's not an FA Cup. It's not a laboured replays and things like that. And there's no VAR in it either. It's fun. There's lots of goals. It's knockout football at its best.
Yeah.
And in the final, VAR comes in and slows it all down and ruins it all. And ruins that bit of nostalgic in the final where if you score a goal, you can go absolutely nuts. And then, all right, 0-0 again.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a very, very wrong decision.
Who on earth... I'd like to line up every single person who pays for Sky Sports and have a yes or no tick box. Who pays for Sky Sports and wants to listen to Mike Dean? No one. Why is he there? Why is he as a fourth commentator on the side getting opinions? No one cares. No one liked you as a referee. No one wants you on RTV.
And you're right. No one. Not that you need to be liked.
No one asks for that.
Yeah, no one. Not that you need to be liked because Neville was hated by many and Carragher was hated by many, but. Yeah, you're right. Mike Dean is like, there's nothing going for him. I don't understand. Yeah, so I've never really thought about him. Why was he there?
But these decisions, they're all the same. They're all the old boys club.
Yeah.
Oh, it's technical offside. Yeah. Oh, it's this. They never no, you've done an absolute shocker there, mate.
And they sit him on Sky Sports, don't they, on Soccer Saturday, and sit him on like a weird little throne of screens, and he just
which all the players take the piss out of him. Yeah, he got Clinton Morrison who goes, "Oh, Mike, you're wrong again." Or they just
yeah, it's bizarre.
No one wants that. It's a gap in the market, if you call it, that hasn't been asked to be filled.
Yeah, well, they just created a job for a ref post football, haven't they? Like refs were never a personality or a people, and now they've become almost celebrity.
We mentioned this a few weeks back, and they've become this celebrity, and it's all important. No one wants to see the ref.
Like we don't know before. It sounds ridiculous, but who's that? Halsey, Mark Halsey. Halsey. Like that era refs were the old school refs, but no one knew them. They didn't have a thing outside of football. They weren't on telly. They weren't talking. They were on the pitch. I think was Jeff Winter a ref? He was a ref, wasn't he?
I
think he was like Jeff Winter. Maybe that's a mad shit. I don't know, but I'm just saying that era ref. They were just on the pitch and they were old school. And they told
Alan
you
Riley?
It was. Yeah,
Alan Riley. Yeah.
Yeah, they were that. But yeah, now Mike Dean, Howard Webb. Yeah, just.
Even Clattenburg, getting tattoos of the finals that he's
his
arms. And now he's on Gladiators, isn't he? And now he's Notts Forest's referee advisor.
What a role is that they've made as well? What are Forest doing with that? Mess. So true. But no, Gallagher then also had. I was about to say.
three chances in the post, had a one-on-one saved. I've got a bit of a soft spot for Gallagher recently because I think we were having this conversation in Madrid about. This is completely off topic, by the way, about who is going to be the guy next to Rice in midfield. Yeah. And before anyone shouts, Bellingham. No, Bellingham doesn't do any defending. Bellingham's
we've seen him.
Bellingham's a 9.
Front. Kane needs to be on the bench. Bellingham's striker.
It's Rice and +1, and then Bellingham in the front.
Yeah.
And the more I think about it, it's Gallagher for me.
It could be. He's definitely up there, but
because of his legs. And I think Chelsea lost a bit when he came off.
Yeah.
Going into extra time, when he came off, they lost that energy. They put Mudryk on, and Mudryk's pace on. If you're playing FIFA, that's a great decision.
Yeah. But Mudryk doesn't play like he should. He doesn't play in real life like he does on FIFA. He's a totally opposite. But Gallagher at the post. It was sort of chaos towards the end when Chelsea just couldn't quite.
That one chance was three of them.
Just hit the goalie, didn't it? And it was bouncing around. But at full time, 0-0 was a good game, and it was a fair result. And both teams were having a go. Liverpool had chances; they were lucky. Chelsea had chances; they were lucky. You thought, right, here we go. But then extra time started, and Chelsea were a totally different side.
And just before extra time, you had Jayden Dans, Bobby Clark, James McCall,
McConnell, I think.
McConnell, that's how you pronounce it.
Yeah. Bobby Clark, that Dans, McConnell, that Quansah came on. That's been playing a few games. He came on the 106 minutes. So the changes were rolled out, weren't they? And Chelsea, like you said, made a couple changes.
You had Chilwell came off for Chalobah. Obviously, Mudryk we just mentioned came on. I think they brought in Kunku on.
Madueke came on at some point.
He did a little bit. He made fresh legs a little bit, but
yeah, Chelsea just like I said, they ended really well. They ended the game on top, but then as soon as the extra time started, they just sat right back. Like I said, the start of a restart again. They were poor, but then they carried it on throughout the whole extra time. I just don't really know, don't understand it. They look to the other side, and Liverpool bringing on these youngsters that we're saying, and everyone's going about Klopp's kids, but they didn't bring on Salah. They weren't bringing on Jota. They weren't bringing on a Nunes. They were bringing on these young lads. So you'd think the likes of their two midfielders, £200 million centre midfielders, and whoever else on the pitch, Mudryk coming on, they could take it to these kids. It's a cup final at Wembley. Some of these lads have. One of them has played midweek, and then his second game was yesterday in the final.
That was Jayden Dan's, wasn't it? Yeah.
You just think these. Yes, the Chelsea side is a young team, but these international experienced players, surely they'd take it to them, and I know Chilwell was being a div, but show him a bit of fight. It was very, very bizarre. It must be very, very frustrating to see.
I think mentally they just crumbled in that.
Yeah.
Mentally and physically, because they could tell they didn't have the legs anymore. And Poch actually come out and said it, didn't he, in his post-match conference, that they were looking to play for penalties, and I think that was some of his decisions in his subs, and they just didn't get forward. And the young players obviously took it upon themselves, and they were like, "Fuck it, we've got nothing to lose, have we?
Yeah.
We literally have nothing to lose."
Yeah.
And a credit to Klopp, because I think a lot of managers would have probably sat on their hands and thought, I'm just going to run Diaz and run Robinson and run whoever into the ground, and hopefully we can get to penalties. But they actually showed some personality, the young kids. And Jayden Dan's, he needed to hit the bar, didn't he? And he had a header cleared off the line.
I thought that McConnell come on was quite a good player. I mean, I don't know. I literally don't know any of these players. Even that Konsa's played a few more times. Even Bradley, the right back, he's played a little bit more this season. But
when he's seen an experienced one now,
he's considered experienced, and he's sort of barely played this year. But it was a sort of a win-win for Klopp, because if he brings them on, it's we bring all the kids and we give them a chance, and we lose the game, it's okay, and they win. Obviously, you see the reports and the story that's happening now. So, but it was a brave decision, I suppose, but also probably the only decision he could make if he wanted to make subs. So,
I mean, I actually thought when he brought Tsimikas on, he made a bit of a difference. I thought he played really well, put some good crosses, and Kelleher continued to make good saves. I think he made another save in extra time. But Petrovic actually made a very good save just before the goal.
Harvey Elliott's header,
But then people also forget Harvey Elliott's only 20. Like, he's been around a long time.
Yeah. And to be honest, if they're all fit, he doesn't start. He's a bit bar player. He's not. I don't think he's not like an unbelievable player, but he's not. If I was Chelsea, I wouldn't be looking at Harvey Elliott going, "Oh bloody hell, I'm scared of him." Not at all. Petrovic, very, very good save on the line, wasn't it?
And he seems to have kept out Sanchez now. Now he's played. He's been their last 8 games he started, and I mean, to be honest, I'd probably keep him over. The very little I've watched of Chelsea, I'd probably have him over Sanchez anyway, because I think Sanchez is a liability. But then there was the defining moment of the game, and corner kick to Liverpool, 118th minute. Tsimikas, lovely ball. Big Virg, done it once, did it again. Run across his man, beat Mudryk to the ball. What a header.
Yeah, and then Tsimikas with a suspect celebration. But it was a nice headed goal. It's always a good sight.
A modern day thing of having no defenders on the posts. Do they clear that? Don't know. Yeah,
possibly, but it was good. Yeah, nice, powerful header on it. And that was it. Van Dijk, the most experienced player for Liverpool on the pitch.
32, wasn't he? Yeah. But we said it in the when we texted before the game. If Liverpool are going to win this, he's going to be man of the match, and he's going to be colossal. And he was. And him and Konate were good, to be fair. Konate is a very good player, but with Van Dijk there, just
and even Konate. I know I said we brought on that they brought on that Quansah, but even Konate didn't even last the whole game. So big Virgil turned up really, didn't he? And he was
brilliant header.
32
years old, just captain. The old use the John Terry phrase, captain, leader, legend.
It was a very, very good.
And
header.
lifts his first trophy as Liverpool captain now, because obviously Henderson's lifted the others. I actually remember I made this exact comment last year to the day, because it was a year ago, and I'll make it again. That trophy is so ugly. It has 3 handles. Why does a trophy have 3 handles?
It's not. So it doesn't help the case for the Carabao.
It's so small, and why has it got 3 handles? Although strangely, I don't know whether it's his last season, but I don't think I've ever seen a manager lift a trophy at the time of
What on the sort of when they walk
Yeah.
up? Yeah,
it was
can't say I've noticed either way. To be honest.
it was Van Dijk and Klopp lifted together. Normally it's like captain and vice captain, but yeah.
That was Liverpool's 10th League Cup, first trophy of the season. Could the quad be on?
No. No, I wouldn't. No. And also, is it a quad? I mean, they win 4 trophies, yeah, I know, but no, it's not.
No.
They will win.
It's a pretty good effort, though.
They will win Europa League.
They
should do. They will not win the Premier League, and they FA Cup. Don't think so.
No, yeah, no.
No.
I don't think they win the quad, but they win 4 trophies. I think they could definitely win another one of any one of those 3. They could.
Yeah, no, I think they're pretty odds on to win the Europa League, and they could probably win that at a canter.
On the other side of it, Poch now lost all 3 finals he has reached with English sides.
Yes, so we actually had 2 questions on the Instagram from Owen and from a new follower, ANFC or AYNFC. I'll start with the first one from Owen 138. What went wrong? Well, we'll answer them together, but what went wrong for Chelsea in the Carabao Cup final? And then from ANFC, now Chelsea have lost the Carabao Cup final. Do you think Poch will be sacked?
I'll start. I don't think they did a lot wrong in the final. To be honest, like in their performance, it was just the extra time. It was just bizarre. They were right in the game. Like I said, they would finish the better side. They had chances, and yeah, the Sterling goal. Jackson might have been an inch onside in another game. Yeah, it was just strange to see the extra time. They just retreated and sat right back and offered nothing really. And yes, that tactic counter with the players they brought on could have worked, but it didn't quite work, and they found out with a big Virgil header. But yeah, I'm interested in Poch. I don't know what do you think about the game?
I try not to make sweeping judgments over one game, because like if Gallagher scores that 1-on-1, are we all sitting here and saying, "Oh, Poch has won"?
Yeah,
Chelsea's form have turned round. Chelsea's young team have now won a trophy. This is the first of their new dynasty, and Bowley and all this. I don't think we are. But I don't think we can say. I've been quite consistent with Poch won't last the season, I don't think.
Yeah.
Because they are, look at the league table, and the league table doesn't like you. You're 11th. Wolves won at the weekend, will push you down to 11th. If you've got a big midweek game against Leeds coming up, they need to win that to be in the quarterfinal of the FA Cup. If they don't win that, you're out of all competitions. You're not getting Europe. He's gone.
He could, yeah.
He's just gone.
Because that game now, after the final, is now really important for even like just for Poch.
Because winning that yesterday would have got him into Europe, albeit the Conference League. But European football for Chelsea, they need to get back in European because they've spent all this money. They need to recoup it somehow.
I don't think they should get rid of him. I think they could in the summer, and they might even before the end of the season. But I think they'd be stupid to get rid of him.
I just don't think as cliche or cringe as he's not Chelsea.
No, he's not. Not at all.
He's not.
No, he's not. And a lot of them have said that from the start. He managed Tottenham. That's all they can think about.
But he's a player that wants to. He's a manager that wants to bring through youth players, and he's never been one for me. Never been one for the top teams to have all these egos in place. He doesn't want that. He wants to bring through the youth players, or a rough diamond like Dele Alli to bring through and make them into stars.
Yeah,
and he reminds me a little bit of Unai Emery in that sense, where they are great with a team 6th to 3rd
and building them up.
Them up. That's what they want to do. They want to be the underdog. They don't want to go into finals being the favourite. Look at Emery at PSG. I know PSG sometimes can be a poison chalice, but Poch also struggled there. And I just don't think.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think Poch is in a better scenario for him is that when he was joined Tottenham, when he even joined Southampton, brought a team up and punched probably above their weight and competed for a season or two and then goes from there. But yeah, I think going into Chelsea, I don't think he had much choice, to be honest, if he wanted to carry on coaching and being a manager. But yeah, I don't think. Yeah, it's just like I said, Poch and Chelsea just doesn't work. But for me, I think they'd be very wrong to get rid of him.
I just don't think the bloke in charge of Chelsea knows much about football. No. Being realistic, I just can't see him I can't see him staying there much longer if they don't improve their form in the league. Like they've improved a little bit, and they've
like you said,
they're still 11th.
Yeah, and all they got, not all they got to do, but if they play pretty rubbish in the midweek against Leeds, lose or draw, or just nick it and just scrape through, then obviously he's under a lot of pressure, but the fan abuse, I suppose, and all the noise from the support will be even louder. So
I've got it in my head that Mourinho will be the manager there again. He's coming back for a third stint.
Yeah, I mean that would just sum them up, wouldn't it? It would just sum them up.
What, Tuchel's available again in the summer?
Yeah, well, we don't know, do we? Todd, you just never know what's going to go on.
Right, should we move on to Manchester United?
Yeah, let's do it.
So you might not believe me, but on the bus, or just before I got on the bus on the way to Arsenal, I said to Griff, I fancy Fulham.
I don't know why.
Because, shall I tell you why? We were chatting about this the other day. At the top 6 teams, the big 6, shall I say, always one always slips up every weekend. And obviously you weren't playing.
No.
Liverpool won at the weekend. Liverpool won in midweek, shall I say.
Yeah.
That was their midweek game.
Yeah.
Same as City, and City weren't slipping up against Bournemouth. I've really fancied Arsenal to do a job on Newcastle.
Oh, God, yeah.
And I just thought, Man United are sitting there. They're going to be the
final
ones.
And technically, like you said, Chelsea lost the final as well.
Yeah, Chelsea did replay, so they does show it like same about. You meant to play each other, weren't you? But I just thought, and going into that, I had no form book or anything. I just had a gut feeling.
Well, lucky you didn't look at the form.
Yeah, because this is what I was. Where's the stat I've had to get off here about Fulham's last away win in like 10 or something like that. I'll see if I can find it. I've wrote it down somewhere. Here we go.
I'll say United and you go Fulham. But yeah, United 4 wins in a row, 5 unbeaten, and then like you said, Fulham.
The result ended a run of 11 Premier League away games without a win for Fulham. Prior to this, only Sheffield United had a worse top flight away record. Yeah,
that's exactly what I got. Fulham were 19th before the game in the away form table. Like I said, Sheffield United are the only side with a lower points total. So yeah, like myself, I and pretty sure 99% of others, apart from Tate, expected a routine home win for Man United. Fulham had no Paulinho, one win in 8 for Fulham in all games, home and away. But I think they hadn't won at Old Trafford for 21 years.
1963.
Oh really? I think they.
No, sorry, their second victory since 1963. Sorry, yeah.
Right.
I've got that there.
But so I thought, well, and like you said, like we spoke about last week, United were on a bit of form, or supposedly a bit of form, momentum, and they were chasing down the top 4. But yeah, how wrong were we?
Well, going into the game, obviously the news broke, I think, on Thursday, maybe Friday night, that Inform Højlund was ruled out for a few weeks and will miss the Manchester derby coming up. Means Rashford was probably forced to play up front, because who else did they put Ice Cold Martial there, or is he still injured, or I don't know. Although it's perfect short sleeves and gloves weather. So
it
nice. Normally comes back for this time of the year.
Yeah.
And then Ten Hag actually gave 19-year-old Amari Forston his first start, which is a damning statement for £82 million Anthony. And I think that just screams. I'm not saying Forston is going to be the new Saka, but that screams when we gave Saka starts ahead of Pepe, because it was just like, there's no point now. Yeah. And then Lindelof filled in at left back, because I didn't realise that when Shaw came off against Luton last weekend,
he was injured
pretty badly. They reckon he's out for the season.
Bloody hell.
So, as much as we joked about the Reguilón decision and to loan him and then send him back,
and now needs him.
Now, what have they done? Like, what have they done?
Is that Malacia out for the season? Is he? I've not heard anything.
Yeah, he hasn't played all season. No. So, what are you doing? And obviously, Martinez is injured. You need a left back. I mean, I'm not saying he's a world beater, but surely he's better than Victor Lindelof playing left back, a right-footed centre half playing left back. Surely he just is.
Yeah, you'd hope so.
You would hope so. He's starting now for Brentford, so surely you would think the left back for Brentford is. I don't know.
Yeah. But I suppose playing for Brentford is obviously a very different kettle of fish than turning out for Man United. But it just sums them up, doesn't it? It just sums them up.
And Fulham played really, really well. I mean, granted that I have only watched Match of the Day and I had to follow a little bit with my phone and whatnot. Iwobi had a chance. I think
Mm.
Pereira had a shot saved, and Iwobi had another shot blocked.
Yeah, I think Fulham were good.
Who is that
throughout.
striker? They've had him all season, and he's been pretty.
Munoz.
And as soon as they signed Brozier, like, Muniz has turned into like R9.
Yeah.
Little step overs and hit the post. Like, he's turned into a goal scorer now.
Yeah, because Merson had it. I was watching it on Soccer Saturday, and Fulham were good throughout the whole game, really. And they almost. It was almost a surprise they hadn't scored until when they did in the 65th minute with Bassi, but
Lashed it in, didn't
yeah,
it?
just roof the net.
Yeah, that's
Nice,
what you call it,
good
lashing.
Good celebration as well.
First ever goal for Fulham.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Mm.
I mean, he was shocking at the start, but I think he's settled down into Fulham and he's perfect for that sort of side, mid-table to maybe pushing up the table, but yeah, smashed it to the roof of it, and I think that was fully deserved for Fulham.
Oh, 100%, yeah. And literally, as he scored, me and Griff had walked into the Tollington pub outside the Emirates. Uproar, and I was like, "Fucking, I didn't expect this reception." Turn around and it's 1-0. I was like, "Oh, decent this."
Yeah, decent.
Although one negative, that was the only TV in the pub
Ooh.
that had the football on.
Oh, rugby.
Ruggers. But no, Fulham still continued to play well, and I think Man United had a few attempts. Bruno Fernandes had a shot. Rashford came close. Then there was that clip going around social media of Bruno Fernandes.
Was that when he
stropping around and they got the equaliser in the 89th minute when his shot got parried by Leno. I was like, Leno, what are you doing? And then Maguire kicks it home. Well, Maguire missed a header, didn't he, early before as well?
What minute was the tackle that he could have?
Oh, first half still.
Was it first half?
First half, yeah.
That's
Should he be on the pitch?
That's a red card.
Oh.
That's a red card. Again, you talk about what's happened and go on about him, but Romero, if that's even if that's, I know he's not played, but Thomas Partey does that. If
Granit Xhaka was the
Granit Xhaka would have been there, yeah. There's plenty of players. If Paulinho does it for Fulham, Pereira does it for Fulham on a Fernandes. It's a red card.
Well, who was the one that got sent off in the weekend? Sorry,
Gilmore.
Yeah,
Gilmore for Brighton. That definitely a red card. Awful tackle, and it's Maguire's is not as bad, but yeah, it's just a red card.
So the bloke who shouldn't be on the pitch slots home.
Yeah.
1-1, and then in steps my mate Adama.
Yeah, late on, wasn't it? It was pressure. The momentum had swung, wasn't it? United were classic, trying to get a goal, but yeah, Traore broke away late on.
They counter-attacked, didn't they? I think Castagna played it out wide to Traore, and he's knocked it past Eriksen.
He's so he's so feeble.
Smashed it past Maguire.
Because Eriksen should have just took the foul, took him out, but Maguire couldn't because he was on a yellow card, or didn't want to because he was on a yellow card, and then. Yeah, by that point it was too late and Traore was off and running.
It was funny though because that goal was scored and assisted by two players, probably in the Premier League, who have the worst end product you'll ever meet.
So true.
In Adama and Iwobi. And I was actually outside at the time, and the pub again erupted.
It's Iwobi.
When Iwobi came up, it was like a double celebration. Good finish from Iwobi. He literally has. I'm not going to say he's everything, but finishing. He can look quite skillful at times, and his finishing leaves a lot to be desired. That's as polite as I'll be. He kicks like he's got bricks on his feet, but cuts inside. Lovely little finish, and then 2-1, 97th minute winner at Old Trafford. Who does that?
I think it was the latest goal recorded at Old Trafford or something. I saw a stat, but yeah, Iwobi just rolled it past Nala, and Nala didn't even move. And is it United? Because again, last week we were. Like many, sort of thinking, United on the charge, bit of momentum, but were they just papering over the cracks with a few recent results? Yeah. And
like we just said last week, that loss and Aston Villa winning leaves them 8 points off fourth place. Spurs are 3 points in front of a game in hand. I don't think they'll get top four, fifth maybe, only because I listened to the radio earlier. Spurs and Villa got to play each other. They've also, both of you have got to play all three of Arsenal, City, and Liverpool.
Yeah, we've got a stinking run after we play Newcastle, and then we have Arsenal, City, Liverpool, or City, Arsenal, Liverpool, something horrible.
But don't think it's all over, but United just don't help themselves. As soon as they seem to get somewhere, and all the pundits come up, and Neville said only last week, I fancied him to sneak in there.
Yeah, Neville last week waxing lyrical about how good Haaland, how good Højlund is, and he's like Haaland. Roy Keane saying last week Spurs would be looking over their shoulder, and now they've gone into hiding, and Neville supports Liverpool all of a sudden. So yeah, it's and you mentioned him earlier, but Fernandes is just a big old baby, isn't he?
He's just a bitch.
Yeah, he's everything you despise, and we've said it before, and I've made it clear, but I couldn't have him on your team. You just couldn't. They're going about how good he is, United fans, but no, you just can't have it. And another example was the weekend, and like you said, Manchester derby next, so good luck.
Yeah, good luck. I mean, for my sake, I hope they get a result, but I don't think I can't see it.
I think that's a perfect fixture for Man City. It's at home as well, isn't it, for Man City at the Etihad? And
although United do have a reasonably good record there.
Oh, they'll go there and just defend for their lives and sit back, but no, not this time round.
I mean, I hope so, because a win would help Arsenal out, but I can't see it. And what annoys about that fixture, they always do it at 3:30. Like no other derby, no other game on a Sunday is at 3:30. Why is that one given special treatment at 3:30? Just let it be 4:30.
Maybe Neville.
That extra hour is not going to do anything for police or drinking or whatever.
It never does. If it's a midday, if it's 11 o'clock,
if it's at 3:30, they start at 9:30.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all.
But no, quickly, we'll have a quick roundup on Arsenal.
Yep.
Obviously, disappointing loss in the midweek against Porto. There was no need for that goal. There's no need.
Yeah, no, it was
literally 10 seconds to go.
Stale game, wasn't it? And he just popped up out of nowhere.
That put me in such a foul mood as well. I was like in bed stressing, couldn't sleep for like 2 hours, just like running over my head. Martinelli, can you just pass it somewhere else? What rattled me was people trying to blame the goalkeeper for that.
No,
fucking hell, the ball.
I've seen loads of
curled
Ramsdale
out.
stuff.
Stop this Ramsdale proper
making that save. It's like, what? This is. You can't do that. It's not. It's nothing. It'll never be the same. But yeah, I mean, the reaction to it was probably, for me anyway, was almost too much. Like, Arsenal lost it. No, like, I think the players and the manager in particular were almost not accepting, but they were like, right, we're going to go into this game, we're going to try and play this way. It's a European away game, blah, blah, round of 16, first leg, we'll play in this certain way, and almost, if we lose 1-0, it's okay. They're going to, I think you're going to take them to the second leg at home and absolutely kill them. But I know it's a different scenario being a sport. You're 1 down, it must feel worse than it. I think it probably feels worse than it is. I think you like you did the weekend with Newcastle, like you did at Burnley, and West Ham. I think you tear them apart. Yeah,
the only one on that one was what Jorginho didn't start. Maybe he wasn't fit enough to do 2 games in a week to play Wednesday and then play Saturday. So they prioritised him against Newcastle, which worked in the end. Our squad was stretched a bit thin for that Porto game, just because Arteta doesn't trust all his squad players, and for that game we had Jesus, Partey, Timber, Tomiyasu, Vieira, Zinchenko out. If everyone's fit, Zinchenko starts, and he's got a Champions League experience. He's a big player for Arsenal. Takes control of the game. Tomiyasu might have started in that as well if he was fit. If Zinchenko wouldn't, Partey would have done. Jesus definitely would have. They just bring a bit more experience in, but he didn't. He doesn't trust Smith Rowe or Vieira, and they only made 1 sub.
Yeah, and
I think that was quite telling that he only made 1 sub in that. But going on to the Newcastle game, I was pretty confident. Yeah. Going back, we were robbed in November or October, whenever it was, but absolutely robbed at St James's Park. And Arteta lost his rag, went nuts in a press conference.
Yeah, there's probably a lot of venom in that game.
And there was, no, we are starting on the front foot. 8 o'clock kickoff. Like, everyone was juiced up, ready to go. Everyone, or the crowd had a few good pints. And what they do good at Arsenal, to be fair, although they've raised ticket prices again for next season, which is outrageous, they do a good offer on beers. So get there.
They do actually, yeah.
Any time between an hour to a kickoff, buy one, get one free.
That is good. That is, very good.
For £12, you get 4 pints of beer, which is
I remember actually, because we obviously earlier in the season, you said about us. Yeah, we went for that exact reason.
It's to get people into the ground an extra hour early, and it works. And they had live music on there. Again, it was just a good atmosphere. And I think we all felt we were playing well. Newcastle got injuries. And we saw Carrier starting. We thought, no, we're ready for this. And from the minute one, we just battered them. Battered them.
Yeah, they're this season they're just mid-table. They're just meh. They're becoming that. This season they're just well off it, aren't they? I know they've had injuries and going on about it, but yeah, I don't know. Just poor, was it? Not Newcastle of last season.
Isaac wasn't fit.
No.
Trippier just looks out of it. Obviously they're not first choice goalkeeper in goal. Miley, he's a good player, but he is only 17. He will get run rugged by Declan Rice. Just will, and Jorginho, they'll just
Odegaard, whoever
run rings round them. Bruno was there, but I think the whole performance was to make Bruno look shit. He was number one enemy, booed every time he touched the ball. Like it was disrupt him and rattle him. They just
and I did watch. The team went 2.5 as well. Just turned it off because it was done. It's finished. I always say it and probably boring, but it just felt like a typical Arsenal home. Kill them in the first 20, and so you did.
Well, they had one shot on target and it went in the 85th minute, and that's what we've been doing recently. We have been really good at just keeping teams out. So that's what the game plan is, just to suffocate teams, and as soon as they get the ball, you get it back as soon as you give it away. And I think that's why players like Havertz, he's playing for Arteta. That's why he signed him, because he's just a press demon. As much as you don't see them numbers in the assists or goals column, no one looks at
how much is running or
intense sprinting and things like that. And it all sounds a bit nerdy, but I know one person does look at that.
Yeah,
that's the manager.
It's the most important bloke probably to Havertz and the certain players.
If you look at all these new stats that are around, it's because people like that are nerds, and that's why they pick players.
Yeah.
But we've got Sheffield United up next on Monday night, then Brentford, maybe Chelsea the week after if they don't beat Leeds, and then international break, and then it's Etihad.
Well, I think that's the Arsenal. Well, it's when you play City, isn't it? Have you got City and Liverpool to go, or just City?
Just City, yeah.
But
we've got you away and Man United away. What is interesting though is last season our record for wins on the trot was 6. I think we have now won 6 games on the trot. Sheffield United up next, and then Brentford.
Could be that Sheffield United could be that 10-0, the 10 goals. It could well be. I think it really could. They are a disgrace.
I don't know.
Sheffield, no. No, I'm not saying you're going to win 10-0, but Sheffield United are.
I've seen Unai Emery's team lose there. So.
No. They are, and that D'Souza bloke who's fighting Jack Robinson at the weekend. He's a div, absolute div.
Can you imagine they sent them both off? There's a VAR check for that as well, isn't there?
Yeah, it was just the 2 players having a spat. But Sheffield United, wow, that could be 10-0, could be 20-0.
Well, we shall see. Do you want to do your prediction for the weekend?
Yes, let me have a quick look.
So last week you had Liverpool win, but
yes, in extra time.
I had Chelsea win, but both wrong.
No, sorry, Liverpool win normal time.
Yeah.
I'm having a look.
And while you're having a look, I'll just say congratulations to all the listeners out there and the people that replied back on the Instagram who got the Who Am I right. It was Patrick Clivert. We'll post another one out probably Wednesday, I reckon.
Ooh, okay, let's go. Premier League, going to go quite topical. Everton at home to West Ham.
Everton v West Ham.
West Ham playing tonight, obviously, of course, in kick-off. Are they kicked off, or is it 5 minutes?
8 o'clock kick-off.
Yeah, so
and Everton have had 4 points given back.
They have.
Do you want to go first on this one?
Prediction, yes, sorry. Everton at home, they're going to win. They're going to beat David Moyes' West Ham 1-0.
1-0. There is some record about Moyes going back to Everton, or this. We did it last year. I remember there was a. I can't remember what it was. I think Everton are going to win. Or are they going to win? 2-1. 2-1 Everton.
Yeah.
They don't normally score goals.
I want a Moyes masterclass tonight. Him to come out in press conference, sign a new contract.
Is it at the London Stadium tonight?
Yeah, it's West Ham are at home to Brentford.
Right, let's run through our team of the week. Shall I start with the goalkeeper?
Yeah.
So, Edison. Annoys me, I've got to say Edison. Because we watched this at the pub and City weren't great, but this is the old classic sign of champions. They play well, win 1-0. They should never have. Well, not say they should never. Bournemouth deserved something out of that game. But Ederson made a couple of good saves, and there was one literally like halfway over the line that he made a good save. Distribution always a joke. Like some of the passes he was putting together, and kept a clean sheet. One of few goalkeepers to keep a clean sheet this week. So we sometimes struggle with goalkeepers, but Ederson gets the nod.
First defender we've gone for Chris Richards from Crystal Palace. Their first game under their new manager, Oliver Glasner.
Yeah.
3-0 win at home to Burnley, probably the perfect. If you're not going to play Sheffield United at home, you want to play Burnley at home. Yeah, perfect start for them. Chris Richards with a goal and obviously a clean sheet in Oliver Glasner's first game and win.
And the other defender, we mentioned him earlier, but Calvin Bassey. First ever goal for Fulham in a good performance at Old Trafford. And if you win at Old Trafford and score as a defender, you're getting in the team in my books.
Yep. Midfield, Douglas Luiz from Aston Villa scored twice. Did he get assist at the weekend? Just 2 goals?
2 goals, yeah.
2 goals in a 4-2 win. His name always pops up when Villa do well or score.
9 Premier League goals this season now.
Yeah, he's him or Bassey, Watkins, who will lead on to in the front line. But yeah, Douglas Luiz, midfield.
And Jorginho, man of the match, fantastic performance. Ironically, that Chelsea spent £120 million on a player that could one day be as good as Jorginho. He's just one of them players. I think when you've got the legs of Declan Rice next to him, it also helps him. He does all of Jorginho's running, and when you're in a game like this and it's going well and it's easy, he just looks so good.
He's ideal.
He's got no pace, he's got no physicality, but he's just a tap around the corner. Looks good, reads the game well. And again, I think he's played his last 4 games, got man of the match in every one of them, and he only gets picked for the big ones. So Jorginho. And
yes, forward is the vote this week between Ollie Watkins, and Kai Havertz. Both got a goal. Havertz assist.
Yeah.
Watkins 14 now. Yeah. 14 and 10 assists or something ridiculous. So yeah, that's up to you guys. Watkins or Havertz.
Only one answer there.
No comment.
Good old Kai. Right, shall we win or loser?
Yeah, you want to start us off?
Yes, I've gone quite simply with my winner, Captain Fantastic, Mr. Virgil van Dijk. Simply put, what a player. And like we said earlier, if Liverpool were going to have any chance, they needed the man of match performance from their captain, their leader, maybe their best player. You can argue him or Salah. Just a all-round... And he's one of them blokes I actually think that... footballers, that no one really dislikes, does he? I know that sounds a bit cliche, but... There's nothing wrong, does he? He's not a dirty player. We'd all love him in our team. He plays football nicely. He's a pretty classy player. And 75 million back in 2017 looks unbelievable business. When you look at some of the figures that have been shoved around, we've been Chelsea, how much they spend for Fana on. I know he's always injured, but
8 mil for Fana, wasn't it?
There you go. And he's one of them players I don't think will get his true flowers until he retires and he goes away. But he's playing, and when people say, is he in your all-time Premier League 11? I think, why not? I know he's only won one Premier League, but I don't think that's the give and take of everything. You as Spurs will always back Harry Kane for if Harry Kane won FA Cup, does that make him a better player? And if not, I just think that as centre halves out there, I don't think anyone, maybe 1 or 2, have ever played at his level week in, week out. And at his peak is Ballon d'Or level.
Yeah, it's probably higher than other players. Yeah,
yeah. The rest were only
been a very.
They were only, but they weren't never mentioned in the same breath as Ballon d'Or. No. They weren't. You had Cannavaro who won it years ago, but that was it.
Yeah. No, very good, very good. My win of the week is Luka Modric or Modric. The 38-year-old scored the only goal to beat a struggling Sevilla at home last night. He was subbed on in the 75th minute, scored his goal in the 81st, controlled the ball nicely on the edge of the box, glided past the Sevilla player and curled it in off the post. Madrid are now 8 points clear of Barcelona, are now second. Girona dropped to third, thanks to the majestic Modric. His role has changed in recent times, more so this season, with younger players are coming through. And the younger players coming through and taking charge of Madrid, and they're obviously building for what's coming ahead. But yeah, last night Modric rolled back the years. So if you're listening, Alberto at Aitor, Hala Madrid.
What a finish, well, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was
great goal.
Brilliant. Love him.
My lose of the week. I haven't actually told you about this story yet, so buckle in and listen up.
Strap yourselves in.
So, my loser of the week is a bloke on the rail replacement on the way home. So, as you people from Chelmsford may know or may not know, when there's rail replacements, you have to go to Newbury Park, and then the way back you have to queue in certain lines, and then they call your destination, and then you get on the bus, and the bus takes you to your destination. So, we all get on, bus is all full up, it's all pretty quiet, it's probably 1:45, everyone's quite tired, a few chats and that. The bus is going down the A12, past Shenfield, and as it's pulling up to Ingatestone, it just drives straight past Ingatestone, because we've all been told this bus is for Chelmsford only. So as we have approached the Ingatestone turn-off, a middle-aged gentleman stands up and screams at the top of his lungs, right next to the driver in his ear, "What are you doing, you idiot? You've missed the stop. You've had one job. What are you doing? You've driven just past." And people are like, "What the hell?" and the driver, he goes, "Are you going to turn around? Are you going to turn around?" And he goes, "No, I'm not. It's for Chelmsford." "No, it's not. I've been told it's for Chelmsford." And people are like, "Sit down, you idiot. It's not the driver's fault." He goes, and then the driver says, "I'm not going to Ingatestone. It's just for Chelmsford only." So then he turns around and walks into the middle of the bus where we all are, and we're just like, "I'd just like to make an announcement and let you all know that this bus is not, and I repeat, not going to Ingatestone." And everyone was like, "Yeah, we know, mate. She said it's Chelmsford." "Well, no, you can't tell me what I heard." And we're like, no. It's Chelmsford. "I'm not drunk. You can't tell me I'm drunk." No, mate, it's... And he goes,
"That's awful.
"Well, I'm going to make sure Greater Anglia pay for my cab home." Good luck with that one, mate.
Yeah, good luck. It's midnight. Good luck.
So everyone was giving him a lot of stick for being an absolute idiot. He was screaming in this driver's ear, and I was like, "Mate, it's not the driver's fault."
Was he on his own, this bloke?
Yeah, on his own.
God. Had he been to the football, or...?
No, I don't know who he was. He's just some
Some
random old
idiot.
boy. And then when the bus pulled into Chelmsford, he stormed off and ran off to the cab rank, and everyone patted the driver and was like, "Oh, what a mate, what a mate." "Oh, Ingatestone next, is it? Ingatestone next." So yeah, that bloke was my loser of the week.
Nice, that's good. That is a shocker. Imagine he just woke up in Chelmsford. Oh, terrible. My loser of the week is football related, and it's Southampton. Leeds beat top of the table Leicester Friday night. Ipswich won at home against Birmingham, but Southampton lost at home to a struggling Millwall, Millwall had lost 6 in their last 7 and only 1 draw. Southampton now 5 points off Leeds and Ipswich, but Leeds in second, obviously due to goal difference. So Southampton, Callum Dorr, if you're listening, losers of the week.
Right, to wrap up, the Champions League round of 16 first leg fixtures were completed last week. But who is the youngest player ever to score a Champions League hat-trick?
How did Griff get his first time? That's impressive. Okay. Youngest player, Champions League hat-trick. Mbappe?
Nope.
Wayne Rooney?
No.
Alright, last wild stab in the dark. Cristiano Ronaldo.
No. I'll give you a clue. Late 90s, early 2000s era. Like at his pomp.
Messi?
Late 90s? Messi probably would have been...
Sorry, I've lost my head. Late 90s, that's awful. I'd turn off if I was listening. Hang on, okay. But it doesn't... In his pomp, when he's the youngest player to ever score.
But that's like his pomp era. He scored the hat-trick in 1995. But his pomp era is like early 2000s.
I literally don't know. Couldn't even
Spanish.
guess. It's nothing. I have nothing in my head right now. Team? Can you give me a team? Madrid.
Yeah, Real Madrid.
Spanish. God. Nothing. Yeah. Nothing.
Winless, losing, a head loss.
Yeah, well, that's the Messi's. I just might as well be rolling around Chelmsford right now.
Raul.
Oh, yeah. Great. No, thanks.
Raul scored a hat-trick for Real Madrid against Ferencváros.
Griff definitely Googled it as well.
Right, aged 18 years old and 114 on October the 18th, 1995.
Well done, mate.
Raul.
Good.
Right, that wraps up another episode 85.
Bloody hell.
I think we've just about sorted out the audio on this one.
Yeah, I think we've
Although
cracked it.
I'm hoping I pressed microphone 2. I was thinking halfway through, if I press that one, or I press the other one. So
it would sound like we're in a fishbowl if it was.
I'm
in
pretty
the other
sure I
setting.
did, but we will see, and hopefully we did. But again, no, thank you everyone for who's listens and listens to the quick radio interview we had as well.
Yeah.
So no, thank you for all your kind messages about that and the shares on Instagram and the messages we've had and the interaction on some of the posts and whatnot. And we'll be posting this out tonight with a Who Am I, probably Team of the Week, some more predictions and whatnot.
Yeah, and if you're listening and you heard us on the radio and you've come over from there and this is your first episode, then thank you very much. Like Tate said, this is our 85th, but yeah, always welcome new listeners and people that interact and send us stuff, whatever. So yeah, thank you.
And we'd like to sign off as always. Stay loyal.
Stay loyal.